Welcome to this quick video on activating the next model year in your labor pricing for profit software. One of the nice parts about the labor pricing for profit software is the fact that we can roll our models over to the next year, activate everything for the next model year. So that way, all the work that you did to key in your data from last year, you don't have to do it all over again. We'll roll everything to the following year. And there's a quick process to make that happen. So let's step through it one step at a time real quick for you. So I'm running at this point Labor Pricing for Profit Software version 6.00.34. If you don't have that version, and again, the version number is listed right here on your software panel. If you don't have a version number there, that means that you're several versions old. So if you're not at the current version, 6.00.34, I encourage you to go to our website at grandyassociates.com/LP and update your labor pricing for software to the current version. It's absolutely free to do that with version 6.0. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. First thing that I'm going to do is, if you're not already there, I'm going to go into the Setup menu on our left-hand menu bar right up at the very top over here. And I'm going to go down and we're going to use this third icon. We didn't use that a whole lot during the workshop itself. But this third icon, Company Models and Department Maintenance. So I'm going to click on that one. It's going to bring up the basic parameters that we set up for our company itself. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and click. You notice right down here in the bottom right, you have an icon for Activate the Next Model Year. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that model, and it will show you, at this point, it's asking me, do you want to roll 2017 into 2018? Simply say yes. The computer will do a little bit of crunching at that point in time, and you will notice then over on our lists right here, we now have our 2018 year there. Everything that we did in 2017 is now rolled over, and we have a new model. We can now start moving forward. Now, a couple of different items. Number one, remember whichever column or row right over here on our individual models, whichever year has the X in the active column, that's the one that we're looking for. You can always verify it simply by looking up. Remember, the third line at the top here shows you which model and what year you're looking at. So right now I'm looking at a model called Third Tech for 2018. So I'm going to look at this model. I can close out this window. There's nothing else I have to do here. Really what's happening when we activate that next model year is a couple of items. We roll all of the overhead expenses over into a new model that you can work with, so you don't have to mess up 2017 at all. Start working with the new one. Second thing that happens is, remember your trucks. We're putting money aside and we're building this fund, our equipment replacement fund, so when it comes time to replace your trucks, we've got the money to do that. If you remember, we indicated in there when we entered our trucks how long we thought, how many more years we could get out of that piece of equipment. And the software then puts money aside for just those years. Once you get beyond that, we don't go any farther. And so if we go in and look at that, this is an area that we have to pay attention to. So I'm going to go back into Costs Input over here on our Setup menu. And if you notice, some of our trucks suddenly have $0 amounts at them. That wasn't there in 2017. But if we look at the detail, we can see under the column right here, Spread Costs Over, right? It's telling us, for example, the 2010 box van, the top one here, spread it over 2 years, which is 2016 and 2017. All right, we put that back in 2016. And so we've elapsed that entire time frame. That truck is no longer there. Well, if you haven't put the money aside, or you still want to keep it longer and continue putting money aside, we have to reactivate that truck. And so there's two columns over here. There's the available column and the selected column. Two different items, and it may seem a little bit redundant, but for what we're doing in tracking these assets, we have to we crunch the data this way. Is that, first off, the available column means, is this particular truck available to this copy, to this individual model? Remember, you can have as many copies as you want. And so even though it's not available to this model, right, we can, we're going to leave it in the database, so we're still, it's being used in other models that we have or other copies in the software. So the first thing we need to do is we're going to start out with the box van here, is I'm simply going to highlight that and I'm going to click on Modify. And one thing you'll notice is, again, right here, year to start, we had set to 2016 and you're going to put dollars aside for 2 years. Well, if again, we really didn't put money aside, and I still want to get that back in there. I need to update this number. So I'm going to change that to 2018 because we're kind of starting over here on this one. I still can get 2 more years out of it. I'm good with that. And then we go back down to the bottom and reallocate where is this truck spending its time. Now, there's going to be 2 things here, and it might sound a little bit odd, but when I click on Accept, the first thing you'll notice is we now have an X in the available column, meaning that this box fan is now available for this individual copy. The next thing we have to do is we have to actually go in the selected column, and so we're going to click in the selected column right here, right? And it's going to bring this window back up, and we have to, again, reallocate. Tell the software again, okay, since it's now available, where's it spending its time? It's just going to confirm that. It's 100% in my installation department. When I click on Accept, you'll notice at that point, it's now, we've got X's in both columns, and we're putting aside $16,000 a year for this particular piece of equipment. Do that for each of the trucks that have zeroed out that you still need to put money aside for. Just simply update those 2. You do the available column first, change the year, tell it where you're spending its time, and then you click on the selected column and confirm the allocation percentage. So that's really where you're going with that. That's how it sets up. That's all there is to rolling it over to the next year. What I would do at that point in time is simply go down to first labor. Are all these wages still correct, or do I need to make modifications? Simply go into my fixed overhead expenses. And again, I can either double click on an expense, or I can hit the single click and hit modify. Are these dollar amounts still correct, or has that changed? Do I need to change it for the next model year? Once you've done that, your model is complete. You're ready to go for the next model year. If you have any questions as you move forward, as you're walking through this process, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Give us a call. You can email me at billkennard@grandyassociates.com or call our offices at 877-202-8891. And hey, make a decision to make it a profitable day.